Your kidneys might be overworking while you sleep. That can show up as 2 a.m. bathroom trips, puffy eyes, and drained mornings, risks you don't need to carry. Stay with me for a calm, natural plan to ease the load without extremes. Tonight, while the rest of your body tries to slow down, your kidneys should be clocking out for a quieter shift. If you wake up groggy, puffy, or running to the bathroom more than once, there's a good chance they pulled overtime. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to translate what's happening in simple, practical terms so you can take back control, without gimmicks, without extremes. And yes, I'm saving a small bonus for the end of our full journey, a flavor trick that helps cut dinnertime sodium without sacrificing taste. Tiny adjustment, big payoff. Let's start with a gentle but important truth. At night, healthy kidneys normally downshift. Blood flow dips, urine production slows, and your brain leans on sleep to repair. But many very normal, very North American habits flip that script. A late bowl of mac and cheese, a pickled side on a turkey sandwich, extra barbecue sauce on wings, a healthy protein shake at 10 p.m., a tall diet soda with dinner, or a last-minute cold brew. These choices may be delicious and even look harmless in isolation. Stacked together and placed late in the evening, they increase the amount of work your kidneys must do right when your body asks for rest. Here's why timing matters. Sodium from processed sauces and deli meats pulls water with it. Your kidneys have to move that fluid all the way out. Heavy protein close to bedtime raises urea that still needs to be filtered. Caffeine nudges your bladder and can make urine more frequent. Alcohol first looks like a relaxer, but actually disrupts sleep architecture and can be diuretic. Add sugar to the mix, and you've built a small nightly rush hour in your urinary system. Nothing dramatic, just a steady, avoidable push that keeps you up and drags you down the next morning. Now for the practical part. If you want relief, you can feel this week. Focus on small levers. Move dinner earlier when possible, about 4 to 5 hours before bed. If life happens, shrink the late plate. A light, balanced snack is better than a full second meal. Read labels with fresh eyes. Many American healthy staples, broth, salad dressings, turkey slices, plant-based patties, hide sodium. Compare brands and aim for the lower option. The difference adds up. Set a gentle caffeine curfew. For most people, after 6 p.m. is asking for trouble. Swap the late coffee, black tea, or soda for an herbal infusion earlier in the evening. Choose sauces wisely. Citrus, garlic, herbs, and a touch of spice provide flavor without a sodium dump. That bonus I promised? It leans into this idea, and it's coming when we wrap everything together. Take a 10-15-minute easy walk after dinner. It's not a workout, it's circulation. That small movement helps distribute fluids and settles digestion. A quick note on hydration. More water isn't always better late at night. Front-load most of your fluids earlier in the day and use small sips after dinner. This doesn't mean dehydrating yourself. It means respecting your body's schedule so your sleep isn't interrupted by your bladder. Let me be clear. None of this replaces individualized care. If you live with kidney disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, or sleep apnea, your plan should be tailored with your clinician. What we're doing here is improving the odds for better nights by reducing avoidable strain from habits that crept in over time. There's a mindset shift tucked inside all of this, and once you see it, it's hard to unsee. It's not only what you eat and drink, it's when and how you set the stage. A turkey sandwich at noon may be a balanced choice. The same sandwich, stacked with pickles, cheese, and a big soda at 9:30 p.m., can cue a bathroom trip at 2 a.m. That's the kind of invisible friction that saps energy day after day. Changing it isn't dramatic. It's ordinary, doable, and surprisingly effective. If you want a starting point, try this. Tonight, pick one habit to nudge. Maybe it's swapping the late soda for a warm citrus and herb infusion a few hours earlier. Maybe it's trimming the sodium-heavy sauce and adding a squeeze of lemon instead. Maybe it's pausing to check the label on your go-to, healthy frozen meal. Keep the change small and repeatable. When your morning feels quieter, less puffy, less hurried, that's your feedback loop. No scare tactics, just an honest invitation to observe your evenings differently. Your kidneys are resilient, but they appreciate a calmer shift. And the good news, is you can create that calm with everyday choices that also taste good and fit real life. Before we continue, remember this is education, not diagnosis. If you notice swelling, persistent nighttime urination, or sudden changes in blood pressure, talk with a professional you trust. For everyone else, the takeaway is simple. Set up your nights the way you set up your morning coffee, on purpose. Give your body the chance to do its quiet maintenance without extra chores. I'll keep guiding you step by step. We'll layer in smart hydration timing, label shortcuts, and a simple flavor technique that rescues dinner from the salt shaker. The next tip is among the most important. Skipping it won't just blunt your results, it can also lead to unwanted side effects if you're not careful. So listen closely and apply it with the same calm, practical mindset you've used here. A moment ago, we uncovered something easy to miss. Ordinary evening choices can quietly push your kidneys into overtime. Now let's widen the lens and talk about the clock inside your body. The rhythm that decides when filtering should be brisk and when it should slow. This isn't theory. You can feel it the very next morning. Through the day, your kidneys manage a steady flow of blood and fluid, clearing waste while you're busy living. As the sun goes down, your system normally leans on hormones that help concentrate urine and ease output so you can sleep. Think of it as dimming the lights in a store after closing time. Maintenance is still happening, but it's quieter and more focused. When we stack late liquids, caffeine, alcohol, or a big salty meal near bedtime, we flip the lights back on and call in the night crew. You feel it as bathroom trips, disrupted sleep cycles, and that heavy, unrefreshed morning. Here's the counterintuitive part. Drinking a ton of water before bed to hydrate sounds wholesome, but it often backfires. Hydration works best when it's paced earlier. Chugging a large bottle at 10 p.m. doesn't catch up your tissues. It challenges your kidneys and bladder at the worst time. Instead, front-load fluids and make them smarter. Add fluids between morning and late afternoon and pair them with meals so your body can absorb steadily. Then taper. After dinner, use modest sips as needed, not refills. Let's map this onto real North American routines, the kind that happen without much thought. Dinner at a casual restaurant often means bottomless iced tea or refilled sodas. That's hundreds of milliliters right when your system should be slowing down. A post-gym protein shake at 9 p.m. seems virtuous, yet it delivers fluid, protein byproducts, and sometimes caffeine from performance blends. A nightcap can feel relaxing, but it fragments sleep and acts like a diuretic. Even the innocent late-night cereal bowl with milk brings liquid, sugar, and, depending on the brand, surprising sodium. None of these are forbidden. The fix is about timing and portion, not fear. Here are practical adjustments that respect your internal clock without making your life rigid. Create a hydration window. From wake up until about 2 to 3 hours before bed is your main zone. Keep a bottle at your desk and aim for steady sips through the day rather than a late surge. Pair fluids with salt awareness. Lunch soups, salad bars, and deli options in the U.S. can be sodium heavy. Balanced midday fluids help your body process that salt long before bedtime. Establish an evening taper. After dinner, think sips, not cups. If your mouth feels dry, try an herbal infusion earlier and a small glass of water later instead of a large refill. Watch hidden stimulants. Many sugar-free beverages still contain caffeine. Read the fine print on energy drinks, green tea blends, and chocolate desserts. Choose calm over force. Skip aggressive diuretic teas at night. They may move water fast, but the cost is predictable. More trips to the bathroom and lighter sleep. Use your own feedback. Midday urine color should resemble pale straw. If it's consistently dark, shift more of your fluids into the morning and early afternoon rather than compensating after dinner. Notice what we're not doing. We're not telling you to fear water or stop living. We're helping the right amount of liquid arrive at the right time. When timing aligns with your biology, you fall asleep more easily, stay asleep longer, and your kidneys get the quiet shift they're designed to have. One more nuance that surprises people. Food counts as fluid. A big bowl of watermelon or a giant smoothie at 9:30 p.m. still lands on your bladder later. If an evening snack helps you sleep, keep it small and earlier. Think a few spoonfuls of yogurt with cinnamon or a slice of toasted whole grain bread with almond butter. comfort without the late flood. If you're an athlete or work late, this framework still applies. Bring most of your hydration and protein earlier in the day or right after the workout. Then begin the taper. Keep stimulants off the table late at night. And remember, good sleep is its own performance enhancer, and your kidneys are part of that equation. A brief, responsible reminder. If you live with kidney disease, heart failure, uncontrolled blood pressure, or you're on medications that affect fluids or electrolytes, talk with your clinician about a personalized plan. Educational guidance is powerful, but it should fit your individual context. Here's a simple experiment to try over the next 3 evenings. Finish the majority of your fluids at least 2 hours before bed. Keep a small glass nearby for comfort sips only. Swap caffeine after 6 p.m. for a caffeine-free herbal option and place it in the earlier part of the evening. Replace one high-sodium sauce at dinner with a citrus and herb blend. You'll still get flavor, and you'll reduce the late fluid pull on your kidneys. You don't need a complete lifestyle overhaul to feel better. You need a few well-placed nudges that respect the body clock you already have. Give your kidneys a quieter night, and they'll give you a clearer morning. The next tip is among the most important. Skipping it won't just blunt your results. It can also lead to unwanted side effects if you're not careful. So pay close attention and apply it thoughtfully. Evenings have started to look different once you realize your kidneys prefer a quieter shift at night. That simple perspective shift, timing matters, opens the door to a second insight that's both practical and empowering. Some of the most common healthy dinner choices still create a late filter rush. No scare tactics here, just a clearer map of what's hiding in plain sight and how to pivot without losing flavor, convenience, or joy. Let's start with a quick reality check. In many North American kitchens and takeout menus, salt sneaks in wearing many costumes. A salad can arrive with more sodium in the dressing than in the croutons. Deli turkey can carry brine that rivals a burger. A light ramen bowl can pack an entire day's worth of sodium in one seasoning packet. And a comforting bowl of mac and cheese often adds both salt and phosphate additives for texture. None of these are moral failures. They're simply supply chain choices that make food shelf-stable and predictable. Your kidneys, however, still have to move that sodium and those phosphates out, work that lands at the precise time your body wants to wind down. Here's a surprise most people miss. The label may list a reasonable serving, but the real plate rarely matches it. That 600 milligrams of sodium per serving can double when you dress a double-sized salad. Add pickles, sprinkle a little extra cheese, and finish with a spoon of barbecue sauce. And barbecue sauce is a double agent, salty and sugary, so it coaxes you to eat more and drink more. Teriyaki, hot honey, buffalo, and even some keto sauces can do the same. The effect is subtle, cumulative, and entirely reversible once you see it. Protein is another quiet lever. A late protein shake isn't inherently bad. It's the timing and the blend. Many performance powders add caffeine or stimulants you might not notice, along with artificial sweeteners that push you to sip more. Highly processed meats, deli slices, jerky, turkey bacon, often rely on sodium and phosphate additives to stay moist and pink. Your kidneys handle nitrogen from protein breakdown and also must excrete the extra sodium. Place that work right before bed, and you set up a mini overnight backlog. Caffeine rarely shows up alone at dinner. Diet sodas, iced tea refills, chocolate desserts, and cold brew pair easily with takeout or a late-night snack. Even decaf can contain small amounts of caffeine. The issue isn't demonizing these choices. It's recognizing how they cluster late in the day, keep your bladder active, and fragment sleep. When your sleep is chopped into pieces, hormones that would normally help concentrate urine at night don't get their groove, and the cycle repeats. So what do we do with this information in a way that still tastes good? Start with simple label literacy and a few pragmatic swaps you can use tonight. Use the 1x1 rule of thumb. Aim for foods where the sodium in milligrams is not higher than the calories per serving. If a frozen meal has 290 calories and 910 milligrams sodium, that's a red flag for a night meal. Scan for phosphate and sodium clusters. Monosodium, disodium, sodium benzoate, sodium bicarbonate, sodium phosphate. Frequent appearances usually mean a louder job for your kidneys. Beware low-carb wraps and breads with high sodium. Compare brands. You'll often find a similar option with half the sodium right next to it. Tame the seasoning packet in instant noodles. Use half or make your own quick broth with garlic, ginger, and a splash of low-sodium soy or coconut aminos. Dress salads without drowning them. 2 teaspoons of olive oil, a squeeze of lemon, a pinch of herbs, and cracked pepper deliver brightness without the salt bomb. Swap late-night sauces strategically. Citrus zest, fresh herbs, chili flakes, smoked paprika, and a touch of maple or honey can mimic the depth of salty sauces without the heavy sodium lead. Watch the healthy sides. Pickles, olives, jarred peppers, and even cottage cheese can be salt-dense at night. Enjoy them earlier in the day or in smaller portions with extra water at lunch, not before bed. Another underappreciated actor in this story is potassium. Many salt substitutes use potassium chloride. For people with healthy kidneys, moderate potassium from whole foods is generally beneficial. But for those with kidney disease or on certain medications, excess potassium can be risky. That's why blanket swaps don't serve everyone. If you have a kidney condition, heart failure, or you're on ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or potassium-sparing diuretics, talk with your clinician before switching to potassium-based salt alternatives. Education is powerful when it's personal. Now for flavor-forward solutions that still respect the nighttime downshift. Build a simple pantry. Lemons and limes for acidity, garlic and shallots for base aroma, Dijon mustard for punch, a small jar of smoked paprika for depth, and dried herbs like oregano, thyme, and rosemary for backbone. Mix and match into quick rubs and dressings. A squeeze of citrus at the end of cooking lifts flavors so you can use less salt and still feel satisfied. Grilling or roasting naturally concentrates taste, making every bite more rewarding without extra sodium. Consider a few real-life plates that keep kidneys calmer after dark. Roasted chicken thighs with lemon garlic rub, a tray of olive oil tossed broccoli, and a small baked potato sprinkled with chives. Bright, filling, low on late sodium. Grain bowl with farro or brown rice, a tumble of sautéed peppers and onions, black beans rinsed well to reduce sodium, a dollop of Greek yogurt, and a squeeze of lime. Veggie tacos with cumin, coriander, and smoked paprika, topped with fresh pico de gallo. Use less cheese, more herbs, and lime to keep flavor high without a salt chase. And because convenience matters, here's a 5-minute sauce that rescues weeknights. Whisk together olive oil, lemon zest, lemon juice, garlic powder, a pinch of smoked paprika, and parsley. Toss over roasted vegetables or drizzle on grilled fish. You'll rely less on bottled dressings, and your kidneys will thank you with quieter nights. Before we wrap, a straightforward reminder. None of this is about perfection. It's about stacking small advantages so your evenings stop working against your sleep and your kidneys can step back from overtime. Switch one high-sodium staple, half a seasoning packet, trade a late soda for a citrus herb infusion earlier, and you'll feel the change in a week of mornings. The next tip is among the most important. Overlooking it won't just blunt your results. It can also bring unwanted side effects if you're not careful. Approach it calmly and apply it thoughtfully for the best outcome. By now, you've started noticing patterns. Evenings that feel lighter, sleep that runs deeper, mornings that don't demand an extra cup of coffee to feel human. When nights still go sideways, it's often because of subtle signals we misread or quick fixes that backfire. This is where quiet observation meets practical action. No drama, just a clearer playbook. First, the signs that your kidneys may be carrying extra work when they should be winding down. Waking to urinate more than once most nights, mild puffiness around the eyes on waking, a dry mouth even though you drank in the evening, and a sense of heavy fatigue that doesn't match your workload. These are not diagnoses, but they are useful breadcrumbs. Pair them with sleep that feels shallow or chopped into short segments, and you're likely seeing a pattern. Your internal clock is being nudged out of rhythm by late inputs. What nudges are we talking about? Let's map the usual suspects hiding in everyday routines. Over-the-counter pain relievers taken late at night, especially certain NSAIDs, can influence kidney blood flow and fluid balance. Used occasionally and as directed, they're helpful. Used frequently at night, they may prolong the very issues you want to solve, including nighttime bathroom trips and next-day grogginess. Megadoses of vitamin C or high oxalate supplements before bed can increase the amount of oxalate your body handles. It's a small effect in many people, but timing still matters when your goal is a calm night. Pre-workout powders and fat burners often carry stimulants that linger. Even if you fall asleep, your bladder and heart may not get the message to relax. Strong detox or diuretic teas at night move water quickly, but that's the point. The trade-off is predictable: more bathroom visits and lighter sleep. Your kidneys don't need a late race, they need a steady day and a quiet night. Electrolyte mixes designed for athletes may carry meaningful sodium. They're appropriate for intense daytime training, not for sitting on the couch at 9:30 p.m. Antacids and cold medicines can contain sodium or decongestants that raise blood pressure and stimulate the nervous system. Read labels with the same care you give to food. If any of these sound familiar, don't panic. The fix is about adjusting sequence and portion, not removing all comfort from your evenings. Build a simple audit you can do once and update as your habits change. Make a 2-column list: left side, late add-ons, anything after dinner; right side, daytime swaps. Be honest but gentle with yourself. If you take a pain reliever for a chronic issue, ask your clinician about timing that favors daytime whenever safe. Circle hidden stimulants. Look for caffeine in chocolate, energy drinks, green tea blends, and certain protein powders. If you need a recovery drink, place it closer to your workout and earlier in the day. Identify concentrated sodium sources. Canned soups, broths, instant noodles, jarred sauces, pickled sides, and deli meats are frequent players. If you love them, move them to lunch. Rinse beans to reduce sodium and season with citrus and herbs at dinner. Park diuretic teas and laxative blends. At night, choose gentler infusions: citrus peel, melissa, chamomile earlier in the evening, and use only sips later. Because we're talking about health, a responsible word on when to seek individual guidance. If you live with kidney disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart failure, or sleep apnea, discuss any changes in fluids, supplements, or medications with a professional who knows your history. Education empowers action. Clinical context keeps that action safe. Also, if nighttime urination suddenly increases, swelling appears, or your blood pressure readings change, that's feedback worth sharing with your clinician. There is also a body-wide factor that often gets overlooked: breathing. Fragmented sleep and frequent bathroom trips can be linked to snoring and sleep apnea. When breathing is irregular at night, hormonal signals that help your kidneys concentrate urine get disrupted. If a partner notices loud snoring or you wake with morning headaches, a conversation about sleep evaluation can be a high-return step. Now let's translate all of this into a calm, week-long plan you can start tonight. Evening window. Set a soft hydration cutoff 2 to 3 hours before bed. After that point, keep a small glass for comfort sips only. Flavor first dinner. Use acid, herbs, and gentle heat to keep sodium low without dulling taste. Roasting or grilling boosts natural flavor, so you rely less on the shaker. Recovery timing. Move protein shakes, electrolyte drinks, and stimulant-containing supplements toward the earlier part of your day or directly after exercise. Gentle movement. Take a 10-15-minute walk after dinner. This helps distribute fluids and settles digestion without stimulating your system. Medication check. With your clinician's input when needed, schedule necessary pain control earlier. If you need something at night, use the smallest effective dose and avoid stacking with caffeine or alcohol. Feedback loop. Keep a simple 3-line journal each evening: what I ate and drank after dinner, wake-ups to urinate, morning energy rating 110. Patterns become visible in a week. Expect steady rather than dramatic improvements. 1 fewer bathroom trip, fewer puffy mornings, a clearer head on waking. These are meaningful changes, and they compound. The goal is never perfection. It's harmony between what you want to eat, how you want to feel, and what your kidneys need to do their quiet work after dark. And because balance matters, here's a small pivot that pays off fast. If you genuinely need a calming ritual late in the evening, anchor it in sensation rather than volume. A warm compress for neck tension, lavender hand cream, gentle breath work, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out for 2 minutes. You'll get the soothing effect you're chasing without the extra fluid that pulls you out of bed at 2 a.m. As always, this is educational guidance aimed at everyday habits. Your health story is your own, and tailoring with a professional is a sign of wisdom, not worry. When you steer your nights with intention, your kidneys don't have to pull overtime, and your mornings return the favor. The next tip is among the most important. Overlooking it won't just blunt your results, it can also bring unwanted side effects if you're not careful. Take it seriously, apply it calmly, and you'll protect both your progress and your well-being. By now you've seen how ordinary choices can stack up after dark. The goal tonight is simple. Create an evening rhythm that lets your kidneys glide instead of grind. Think of this as a gentle decompression routine, practical, repeatable, friendly to real life. No extremes, no scare tactics, just small hinges that swing big doors. Start with timing, because sequence quietly runs the show. If dinner usually lands close to bedtime, nudge it earlier by 30 minutes over the next few nights. Another small nudge the following week. 4 to 5 hours before sleep is a comfortable target for many people, and if your schedule doesn't allow it, shrink the late plate, a lighter portion, fewer salty add-ons, and more herbs and citrus at the finish. What matters most is that your digestive and urinary systems aren't asked to sprint while you're trying to sleep. Hydration comes next, and here's where nuance pays off. Heavy drinking of water late at night sounds wholesome, but your bladder and kidneys experience it as a late meeting that could have been an email. Front-load your fluids from morning to late afternoon. After dinner, think sips, not refills. If your mouth feels dry later, it usually means your daytime intake fell short. That's feedback, not failure. Adjust the next day rather than compensating right before bed. Now let's tackle flavor, because taste is why habits stick. Build a fast pantry. Fresh lemons and limes, garlic, chili flakes, dill, oregano, smoked paprika, Dijon mustard, and olive oil. With those on hand, you can make 5-minute rubs and dressings that feel chef-level without leaning on bottled sauces. A squeeze of citrus at the table brightens food so you can use less salt and actually enjoy it more. That small switch reduces the late evening sodium load your kidneys would otherwise have to move. Movement plays a quiet but outsized role. 10 to 15 minutes of easy walking after dinner. Think of it as a neighborhood loop or a stroll with the dog, helps circulation, digestion, and mood. It's not a workout. It's a signal to your nervous system that the day is winding down. If the weather is rough, walk indoors, do a gentle stretch, or climb a few flights of stairs at a conversational pace. The point is smooth, not sweaty. Let's bring in label literacy without making it a second job. The 1-1 rule of thumb turns grocery aisles into a friend. If sodium, mg, is higher than calories per serving, that food probably isn't your best night companion. Check salad dressings, broths, deli meats, instant noodles, jarred pickles, and even cottage cheese. When you find a lower sodium twin, adopt it. You'll barely notice the switch, except in how your mornings feel. Caffeine deserves a compassionate boundary. After 6 p.m. is a common tipping point, but learn your personal curfew. Remember that caffeine hides in more than coffee. Black and green teas, many sodas, energy drinks, and chocolate desserts. If you love the ritual of a warm mug, brew an herbal option earlier in the evening. Keep it gentle. Stimulatory detox or diuretic blends simply trade one problem for another. Consider a calm, week-long experiment to lock in the routine. Day 1-2. Move dinner 30 minutes earlier. Cut late beverages to sips. Take a short post-meal walk. Day 3-4. Swap one high-sodium staple, deli turkey, ramen packet, bottled dressing for a lower option. Add citrus or herbs for flavor. Day 5-6. Set a caffeine curfew you can keep. Replace late soda or tea with a small herbal infusion earlier in the evening. Day 7. Review your sleep and morning energy. If nighttime bathroom trips dropped or mornings feel clearer, keep the changes. If not, examine the sneaky add-ons, pickles, sauces, electrolyte drinks, and move them earlier in the day. Because this is health education, let's keep safety the headline. If you live with kidney disease, heart failure, diabetes, high blood pressure, or you're on medications that affect fluids or electrolytes, make adjustments with your clinician's input. For everyone else, remember we're tuning timing and portions, not prescribing a strict diet. There's one more pattern that often surprises people. Food is also fluid. A huge smoothie or a melon mountain at 9:30 p.m. can send you to the bathroom even if you skipped a drink. If an evening snack comforts you, scale it. A small bowl of yogurt with cinnamon instead of a full cereal bowl. A piece of toast with almond butter instead of a big fruit salad. Comfort, not a flood. If occasional pain or reflux has you reaching for nighttime remedies, read the labels. Some over-the-counter medications contain sodium or stimulants, which may nudge blood pressure or bladder activity. If you need regular relief, ask your clinician about daytime timing or alternatives that better suit your sleep goals. Your aim is to remove friction from the night, not to stack more tasks on your kidneys right before bed. Tie everything together with a low-effort dinner template that respects your evening downshift. A palm-sized portion of protein, grilled chicken, tofu, or fish, 2 generous handfuls of vegetables roasted with olive oil and herbs, and a modest whole grain or potato. Finish with lemon zest and a squeeze of juice. This pattern is simple, satisfying, and quietly kidney-friendly after dark. Progress here isn't a headline. It's a feeling. 1 fewer wake-up, less morning puffiness, a steadier mood before lunch. Those are the signs your routine is working. Keep them in view and let them guide small refinements week by week. Consistency beats intensity. Education, not alarm. That's the spirit. You don't have to overhaul your life. You just have to respect the body's clock and give your kidneys a chance to ease off when night falls. And when you do, the payoff is the kind you can feel by sunrise. The next tip is among the most important. Ignoring it won't just limit your results. It may also bring unwanted side effects if you're not careful. So apply it calmly and with attention to detail. Everything so far has been leading here, and the payoff is refreshingly ordinary. Not a supplement stack or a cleanse, just the right preparation at the right time. The central idea is simple enough to overlook. Your kidneys sleep better when your evenings deliver flavor without a sodium surge, calm without stimulants, and hydration that lands early. To make that practical, you'll learn a gentle beverage you can actually enjoy and a flavor tactic that lets you cut salt without losing satisfaction. Together, they free the night shift to be quiet again. First, the evening drink that soothes rather than stimulates. Choose a caffeine-free infusion built around lemon peel and lemon balm, Melissa officinalis. Lemon peel brings natural citrus oils and a touch of citrate. Lemon balm offers a soft, calming aroma. Neither is a diuretic hammer. What matters as much as the ingredients is how and when you prepare it. Gather what you need for 1 calm cup. A strip of fresh lemon peel, about the size of your thumb, avoiding the bitter white pith. 1 teaspoon of dried lemon balm, or 3 to 4 fresh leaves, and about 200 milliliters of hot water. Heat the water until it just begins to whisper. Steam visible, but not a rolling boil, roughly the point a kettle first sings. Turn off the heat, add the peel and lemon balm, cover, and let it infuse for 6 to 8 minutes. Strain into a cup. Taste before sweetening. If you prefer a touch of sweetness, a half teaspoon of honey is often enough. The timing is the key. Enjoy this infusion 2 to 3 hours before bed. That window gives you the comfort ritual without a late flood that wakes you. If citrus isn't your friend, use orange peel or a thin slice of fresh ginger with the lemon balm. Keep the same temperature and steep time. What you're chasing is gentle aroma and warmth, not intensity. Skip aggressive detox blends, strong diuretics, or anything that promises miracles. They're loud on the bladder and short on rest. Now for the promised flavor bonus, the tiny kitchen trick that helps you cut dinner salt dramatically while food still tastes alive. Think of it as an acid-forward salt replacement. In a small jar, combine 1 tablespoon of finely grated lemon zest, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika, half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, and a teaspoon of dried herbs such as oregano or rosemary. Close the lid and shake. That's your dry mix. When you plate your meal, sprinkle the mix lightly and finish with a squeeze of fresh lemon. The acid lifts flavor in a way that lets many people reduce added salt by a third or more without noticing. Use it on roasted vegetables, grilled chicken, fish, or a grain bowl. If you love a creamy finish, add a spoon of plain Greek yogurt on the side instead of a salty dressing. Here's how to deploy both pieces into a calm evening you can repeat. Aim to finish dinner 4 to 5 hours before sleep when possible. When life squeezes that window, reduce portion size and lean on the acid-forward mix to keep flavor high without a sodium surge. Brew the lemon peel and balm infusion 2 to 3 hours before bedtime and enjoy it seated, not on the run. Make it part of a wind-down ritual. Lights softer, screens dimmer. A short list of tomorrow's tasks closed out on paper so your brain doesn't carry them into the night. Keep late liquids to quiet sips after the infusion. The goal is comfort without volume. If your mouth feels dry, a single small glass is your ceiling, not a bottle. Walk a relaxed 10 minutes after dinner. Smooth circulation, easy breath, no sweat. Let the body know the day is tapering. Season boldly, salt lightly. Use the dry mix and citrus at the table. Taste, then decide whether a pinch of salt is truly needed. Often it isn't. A word about safety and individuality, because responsible guidance respects real life. If you're pregnant, have a known kidney condition, take blood thinners, or manage thyroid disease, talk with a clinician before making herbal teas a daily ritual. If reflux is an issue, start with a smaller piece of lemon peel, or try ginger instead. If you're on medications that affect potassium or sodium balance, avoid potassium-based salt substitutes unless cleared by your care team. Education shines brightest when it's personalized. You may notice a few subtle wins within a week: fewer overnight wake-ups, less morning puffiness, a steadier first hour of the day. Sleep quality often improves not because you found a magic drink, but because you removed quiet friction. The sodium surge, the late stimulants, the big bottle of water at 10 p.m. This is the main point many people miss. The right preparation, placed at the right time, trims the workload on your kidneys when they should be idling. That alignment is what restores peaceful nights. To make it even easier, prep your dry mix once on the weekend and keep a lemon or two on hand. Put the jar by the salt shaker as a visual cue. If you cook for a family, let the table be playful. Everyone seasons their own plate, starting with the mix and lemon, then adding salt only if needed. You'll be surprised how often no one reaches for it. As we bring this to a close, hold on to the spirit that got us here. You don't need perfection, you need rhythm. Feed your evenings with flavor that respects the night. Hydrate with foresight, move a little, and keep your rituals gentle. Your kidneys are resilient partners. They simply work best when you let the night be quiet. If this guidance helped you, share it with someone who wrestles with late-night snacks or restless sleep. Tap like so the platform shows this to more people who need calm, not noise. Subscribe and leave a comment about the one change you'll try tonight: earlier dinner, the lemon balm infusion, or the acid-forward seasoning. Your experience may be the nudge that helps someone else. The next tip is among the most important. Ignoring it won't just limit your results, it may also bring unwanted side effects if you're not careful. So approach it thoughtfully and apply it with care.